Absolute villainy unlocked.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee. I kind of.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So
Hey, all gravity, any day above ground, live it. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Friday and your weekend. You know, when you see the mask, it's about to get dark. Fam, I've waited too long to talk about this. Way too long. But we're finally going to talk about it. This Asian boycott. I got something put in my lap today. It was beautiful. And it's also going to dovetail into something else. And it's going to be beautiful. We're going to talk about that AA. That's right, that affirmative action. It's about to be beautiful. We have updates. It's not going well for the Asian community. Now, no shade on all of them, because I know all of them ain't acting like this. They just trying to live their life. They're just trying to, make something of themselves, trying to make sure that they family straight. I get it. But see, this is what happens when you don't call out the degenerates in your communities. When you don't call out the degenerates in your communities, you catch strays. Lots of strays. So much strays, in fact, that them strays get the straying. I know that don't make sense, but it's going to make sense later. Fam, the boycott ain't going well for them folk. It's not. They're trying their best to put a brave face on, but it's hurting them. You know your boy. He go around. He got, y'all know me. I've got spies everywhere. I don't like to name that network, but it's there. I see things. I look at things. I look everywhere. It's bad. We're going to take a look at that. Now, like I said, we're going to go into the AAPI stuff. That's bad. But before we get into all that, let's see who's in the building. Wallow J, hello. Gamers Den, hello. AG Galaxy, hello. Don P, hello. Old Soldier, hello. Nini, hello. And I'm sorry for the mask, but it's been a while. I had to put it on. It's got to get dark. Brother Torian, hello. Chief X Ali, hello. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat or comments, hello. So let's get into it and let's have the big fun.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right, fam. Let's see how we got here. Because before I go eviscerate somebody, we have to start at the beginning. Now, we all know the relationship between the Black and Asian communities. We know this. And other people know this.
We know this. The Chinese know that we know. But we make believe that we don't know, and the Chinese make believe that they believe that we don't know, but know that we know. Everybody knows.
We gave them fried chicken. Well, Black Americans did. They gave them fried chicken. They gave us kung fu movies. We gave them Wu-Tang. They tried to take RZA. That's right. Baby, yes, they did.
You said what?
Yeah, they tried to take RZA from us, and it didn't work. We supported Rush Hour by giving them Chris Tucker. They didn't stop the failed TV show. They presented us with Bruce Lee. We had Jim Kelly. Shout out to Jim Kelly. Rest in peace. But fam, there was a situation. We're going to see if you all remember this situation. It was 2015. It was Flatbush, Brooklyn. A particular situation happened. Pissed the entire city off. And I would say that this was the genesis of this boycott. It was the seed that was planted. But for those who don't remember, we're going to refresh your memory.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
We remember the Red Apple Nail Salon. We remember that super viral video where those workers decided to put the broom and hands on them black women. And we remember the aftermath. But for those who don't remember what happened and the aftermath, we will, as we said before, we're going to show it to you.
Has been closed since yesterday at the request of the NYPD. You can see that behind me. Now, outrage has at times become racially charged, and associates of the business owner tell me he wants to keep the peace, reopen, and put this all behind him. He says the employees were just acting in self-defense, and tonight we have exclusive video showing what allegedly happened in the salon moments before the fight. Video obtained only by CBS 2 News shows one of the customers pacing the salon in what the owner says is moments before the first physical contact is made between an employee who was allegedly trying to resolve the issue before things got out of hand. It's not clear who touched who first or how things got out of hand.
They were just doing cleaning job at the beginning of that night.
The Chinese American Nail Association has been in touch with the owner of Happy Red Apple Nails, Michael Lin. He didn't want to go on camera and has retained an attorney. Police say the fight broke out Friday night after customer Christina Thomas complained about her eyebrow service and refused to pay $5 for it. Lin says she also didn't want to pay for pedicures she and her grandmother received, so he called police. In the meantime, this happened, and the video has struck a chord with longtime customers.
You can beat people with broom. They're beating them like they were animals. So I've been going to him for almost 10+ years. And for this to happen, and my community is sad.
Tiana Taylor's sister wilding out. And this African right here, he's like, why are you on my block? Shout out to the African. But we're going to play something again. I want y'all to hear this.
Pedicures she and her grandmother received, so he called police. In the meantime, this happened, and the video has struck a chord with longtime customers.
You can beat people with broom. They're beating them like they were animals.
So they got the Afro Latino out there. Shout out to her. She had the whole Eve aesthetic going.
Attorney. Police say the fight broke out Friday night after customer Christina Thomas complained about her eyebrow service and refused to pay $5 for it. Lynn says she also didn't want to pay for pedicures she and her grandmother received, so he called police. In the meantime, this happened, and the video has struck a chord with longtime customers.
You can beat people with broom. They're beating them like they were animals.
So I've been going to him for almost 10+ years. And for this to happen, and my community is sad. It really is. It's really sad.
We should not spend our money with them. They need to be shut down.
Both Thomas and employee Wei Yu Zhang face charges.
Shout out to that Afro-Latina sister for planting the seed.
We should not spend our money with them. They need to be shut down.
Both Thomas and employee Wei Yu Zhang face charges of assault and harassment. Assemblywoman Diana Richardson showed up calling on the businesses to shut down.
We want the charges against the young lady, Christina Thomas, dropped. She was a victim defending her grandmother against a gang assault. And
why is your camera next to your lips? You ain't had no intern or some $12 an hour assistant to be able to hold your cell phone. Say less. Go ahead.
An apology needs to be issued, but that's not nearly enough.
By the way, for those who don't know, she's Caribbean.
The salon hopes to reopen and wants to make peace with the community. And those comments from the Assemblywoman were actually posted on Facebook. We tried to speak with her, but she refused to answer our questions. At this time, the Brooklyn District Attorney says it's still investigating, reviewing additional evidence, and more charges could be filed. We're live in the East Flatbush section of Brooklyn. Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
All right, so there's that. All right. So we say what be there? So for those who don't know, that shop did close down. But let's see what's in its place. And then we're going to move on. So we're on Google Maps. Damn you. Now I don't want to work. Let me look. Okay. Of course, I put the address in there. Now I don't want to work. Let's see. Let's try this again. Okay. I think I got it now. Or we put it back up. All right. So here it is. Now this is the street view. So we know it was on the left side. Let's look. So there's the meat place. See? Okay, so that's 1425. So it might be on the other side. Let me see. Is it this one? Let's zoom in. There you go. So Caribbean took it over. The Caribbeans took it over. They need to clean that sign. I'm hoping that's a shadow, but that might be dirt. I don't know how the hell you got dirt all the way up there, but you know what the hell? Were they throwing out the old oil and the wind blew? I'm just saying. And then next door you can get Tim's. So while your food is being made, you can go get Tim's. All right, say less. Anyway, so there's that, right? So now let's have the big fun. Fam, y'all know me. I do geopolitics on this channel. And with geopolitics comes economics. I was a very good economics student in high school and college, so I know what I'm talking about. Some fool decided they were going to test my knowledge. And I don't know why they do this. It's not worth it. You're going to lose. I'm sorry. You're lost badly. And you got embarrassed on this thread because not everybody going to see it. But we'll show it to you. And you can be the judge of this because it was hilarious. Let us begin.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Now, I would put on the music, but I want to make sure that everybody's thinking. Sometimes the music can be distracting, so we're going to keep it chill today. So this is Dorenic Bird. Now, I don't follow him, but shout out to them. They got a nice following. Shout out to him. He wrote, Asian businesses in Black neighborhoods are starting to close down now. What happened? Now, this is the entire thread. There's my comment. We're going to get to that. So this person said Black people are racist as F. That's what's happening. So we're giving a choice, right, of us not patronizing Asian stores. That's racist. But y'all can come outside and laugh at Black-owned businesses, and that's not racist. That's just y'all exercising your free speech. I tell you, when this situation after these midterms happens and they become the minority for real, it's going to be a problem. Let me just address old Jim Bob before we go. I know why they're so upset at things like this. I understand. It's not because they want to protect the Asians, because I'm going to prove something later, how they're not even supporting them because they have to follow behind us. Because like y'all said, y'all are the culture, and us melanated immigrants and kids of melanated immigrants, we follow behind. We be doing a butterfly, but we follow. What y'all fail to understand is when that census comes out, you're going to be the minority for the first time in this nation's history. And y'all understand that this is happening and you feel it happening and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You already have about 2 or 3 states where Hispanics are the minority. You done lost a lot of these major cities where you guys are not the minority. When those census numbers come out in 2030, it is going to be diabolical. And then we're going to say this.
I told you punk ass niggas to get off the motherfucking timeline and rap. That's the problem. You niggas be crying. You niggas be bitching. You niggas need to fucking rap. When you can't nobody else come up here if they not rapping like that. Stay your punk ass at home.
Because y'all didn't go outside and rap to your people. Y'all sat online all day and complained. That's all you did. That's how I'm going to say it for entire 20 years. All you did was go on social media and complain. You didn't galvanize. That's why they're putting data centers in y'all's towns now. And you can't do nothing about it. Your kids drinking water going to make them lead babies and binary babies. But you don't care about that because you want to stick it to the blacks with your AI memes. Cool. That's fine. That's fine. I got something for you, though. Watch this.
You want some more?
We might have more. Since you wanted to complain for 20 years about black people so much, and now you're going to be the minority, you can watch black people rise up and take over this nation and put this nation on the right path. Because all them countries that y'all like to sit up there and complain about and want to kiss their ass on the backside because you need their product, they're going to come to us first.
You want some more?
We might have more. Since you want to spend 20 years online at that point and complain about everybody else, I'm sorry to say it, family. We're just going to say it, and then we'll get back to the Asians in about 2 minutes. The Mud Sharks will be running, y'all.
You want some more? Do you?
We might have more. Since you wanted to spend 20 years complaining about black people all day while you're letting your neighborhoods go to crap, everybody coming in there, you got Muhammad, you got the god Vishnu and the other 999 gods. They over there buying up all your real estate, setting the prices, setting the new status quo. But for some reason, you had to go and make that meme about a black kid killing a white kid. And you're in front of a judge from Bangladesh.
You want some more?
We might have more. Since you wanted to spend 20 years worrying about black people on social media, I think it's fair for me to tell y'all that the same Asian community that I'm about to eviscerate, Xi is going to be their supreme leader, and Kim Jong-un is going to be his hitman.
You want some more?
We might have more. Since you wanted to complain about black people for the last 20 years on social media, AI memes and everything, you let the Hispanic community not only take over Texas and California and the whole Southwest, now you're letting them take over states that you control, like Iowa. Fam, do you realize in the next 25 years, we might have to deal with a Hispanic Caitlin Clark?
You want some more?
We might have more. Since you wanted to spend all your time, Jim Bob, and the rest of you clandestine idiots, worrying about black people and what we're doing out here, you not only lost your tech sector to the Indian population, y'all are still making Kamala Harris relevant. I don't even understand how you're still making a chick who doesn't know her own racial identity. Y'all are still making her relevant, but it's worry about black people, right? Interesting. I can't wait for her to be over y'all again.
You want some more? Do you? All right, bim, bam, boom. Somebody get this nigga out of my way.
All right, enough of that. Let's get back to this Asian boycott. Asians have learned what every white ethnic group learned before them. Opening a store in a black neighborhood is a fool's errand, yet they still do it. The crime, the stupidity, and the general horrible atmosphere is not worth it. Okay, yet they still do it. So go ahead, tell us how this grand scheme didn't work, even though they went to Harlem, they went to the East Bronx, they went to Jamaica, Queens, they went to East Flatbush. Now they're doing that. They went to Bed-Stuy, they went to downtown Brooklyn, they went to Williamsburg, they went to Greenpoint, they went to East Williamsburg. Now they're gentrifying the hell out of that. They went to Long Island City, that was known to be Hispanic, but y'all don't want to go there. Y'all are now trying to go gentrify, because of course I got people over there. Yeah, gentrify Astoria. I forgot about Astoria. You're starting to go talk about gentrifying over there by Steinway Street because there's so many trains over there. So now you're going to go mess with the Peruvians and the Venezuelans. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but you know what? Shout out to y'all if y'all pull that off. Y'all went to Red Hook. Now y'all trying to go into Sunset Park. Now them street taco Spanish people, they will screw you both ways, pause. But okay, do your thing. Do your thing. You gentrified Bay Ridge. You're trying to gentrify Coney Island, but Sandy stopped that a while ago. So that's, and then y'all went to Rockaway Beach before that. And then y'all was cool with it because, you know, you could surf. But you know, Sandy made y'all a little hesitant. Now you're stuck down there with waterlogged buildings. But, you know, do your thing. Y'all are now, Kira, and you can attest to this because you still live in New York, I think. They're starting to go move back now to Long Island. Oh, yeah, Long Island's pulling what Atlanta's pulling up here. They're building up those nice luxury apartment buildings next to the Long Island Railroad. Yeah, how'd that work? How'd that work? Because a lot of those neighbors that I named were black. Didn't seem to have a problem doing it, and they're still there. But okay, you want to worry about that. I'm going to show you how much of a fool's errand that was, since you wanted to make it white-centric. We don't care about white people today. We care about this here. Because I pissed somebody off. Good. So to answer this brother's question, I said, starting in 2020 when we chilled on Chinatowns, we're going to show that video. Now, Rick Chow and them are seeing how much they relied on black money and seeing it go to our brothers and sisters consistently. No wonder they're begging Congress for an update to the C-19 hate crime bill. We've all heard those rumors. But at second sentence, I put out, who remembers when Nancy Pelosi went outside and said, go shop in y'all's Chinatowns? Over there in California. Who remembers that during the scamdemic? Oh, for those who don't believe me, we're going to play it. Because you might have forgot, because you might have taken the Belle Biv DeVoe and, you know, that controls you. I didn't mean that, government. I didn't mean that.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
There you go.
Business owners in San Francisco's Chinatown are struggling with a slump in business due to fear surrounding the coronavirus. KPIX5's Ann Makovic is live as House Speaker.
Let me ask a question. Where were your lawmakers to combat that? Oops. Should we ask that question, family? Where were your congressmen and your city council members and your local representatives that you sent 3,000 miles away to D.C. outside of Nancy Pelosi to go down there and say to go shop there? Huh? Wait a minute. Y'all still had Kamami. That was her city. Where was Senator Kamami to go ride with Nancy Pelosi over there to go say, go in there and make sure you shop there? Huh?
Nancy Pelosi addresses the issue there. Ann?
Yeah, come with me as we stalk Speaker Pelosi right now.
And notice, they sent the white woman over there to go do that. Where's your Asian reporters? You're on the West Coast. I'm not being racial. I'm just trying to tell y'all a story. Usually you would send an Asian person to go do a story like this. You sent the white woman down there. You don't think we didn't see what y'all were doing with the media? It's very slick. But keep going.
She's been taking a tour down Chinatown, and we have stopped already at a temple. We've stopped at a fortune cookie factory,
Fortune
the
cookie
walk
factory,
shop, which sells cookware, and now she is stopping at one of the little gift shops in Chinatown. If you can see her
gift shop, because that's what let's hear the 4 businesses she went to again.
Chinatown, and we have stopped already at a temple. We've stopped at a fortune cookie factory, the walk shop, which sells cookware, and now she is stopping at one of the little gift shops in China.
Okay, we already know. See, here we go with the BS that they're trying to pull. She went to a temple, a fortune cookie shop, a walk shop that sells cookware, and now she's at a gift shop. We all know what Chinatown's known for. It's known for cheap eats and cheap shopping in the course of fruits and vegetables and food. We know this. That's why people go to Chinatowns. Diabolical. Keep going.
Chinatown, if you can see her live now, she has been talking to people along the way, a lot of business owners, a lot of community leaders here in Chinatown who have been concerned about the optics of the coronavirus and the fear that some people might have coming to a place like Chinatown that might have a lot of Chinese nationals. So she has been going around to show that it is perfectly safe to be here. She says that this is a very special place to her heart because she started a lot of her early campaigning when she started her political career, some of it right here in Chinatown. And we got some word from her earlier on sort of the message that she's trying to purvey here.
It's exciting to be here, especially at this time, to be able to be unified with our community.
She got sanitizer underneath the scarf.
We want to be vigilant about what it might be on what is out there in other places. We want to be careful about how we deal with it, but we do want to say to people.
She about to get back in the limo and spray herself down with everything. Her $700 cologne and a $2.99 can of Lysol. You know what I'm talking about. And the whole back seat finna get sprayed with that Glade.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
So let me guess. So if I lived in Frisco, I would turn on the news and I hear you saying that I'm supposed to jump in my car and drive all the way to Chinatown amidst fears of a global pandemic. Excuse me? And this is what I killed Bill de Blasio for in 2020 as well, when he pulled that same little griff. And I was living in Brooklyn at the time. You think I'm jumping on a train to either go to Flushing, Bay Ridge, or Manhattan? I can make the food at home myself. My wife will tell you, when we lived in our apartment there for 3 years, I ain't buy no Chinese food from there. From none of them folk. But yeah, you flew 3,000 miles away on your taxpayer dime to try to alleviate the fact that Chinatowns were going to get their ass kicked over what Trump was saying. Interesting. Keep going.
Yeah, and I want to point out that no cases of the coronavirus have been found here in Chinatown or San Francisco at all. So she's really just trying to point that out because they have seen a drop in business here. Again, back at the Chinese Bazaar gift shop here on Grant Street. She's a real tourist attraction in and of herself, as you can imagine. People are so excited to see her, people from all over the world. And again, of course, right here in Chinatown, who are really happy for the speaker's support today. Live in San Francisco, Ann Makovic, KPIX5.
Okay. That is a weird looking woman. I'm leaving that on the screen just to troll y'all a little bit. All right. So that business is still open. Luckily for them. So there's that. Now you got some context. Let's have fun. So this person here, because of course, they have the terracotta warriors there. Of course they do. This should be fun. This should be fun. Don't nobody be talking to this month. But all right. So I said that, right? He said, yeah, Walmart and Walgreens closing down those same demographics as well. Now, why is that? You look for an adrenaline rush about how powerful the black dollar is. Okay, let's tackle this first. Dum Dum, I don't know where you live, but let me help you. Black folks as a majority don't shop at Walmart and Walgreens like that. I know. They're all over the place. I know. You think it's in abundance. Did you not see what happened with Target? Maybe they didn't see it. I know. It's black issue. I know. We don't shop at Target. It took them to mess up one time. And that was, 2 years ago. We ain't been back there since. And we used to call it Target. We call it something else now.
Who cares?
But yeah.
I passed by many a Target. Them parking lots ain't full like it used to be. Can I get an amen? Walmart. Okay. Since you wanted to bring up Walmart, sir, or ma'am, or it, we don't discriminate over here. Number one, Walmart has been losing money for decades. You know why they've lost money for decades? And it ain't because black people were sitting up in there stealing, because I'm going to address that point later, because you tried to say that in there. And I knew what you were trying to do, but it wasn't going to work on me. Walmart has lost money for decades because, number one, they could never get into the New York City market. Oh, I know. You didn't know that. Yeah. When Walmart started their expansions to the East Coast, there was one provision that New York City, I'll actually give them credit for. They said, no, we're not taking Walmart, no kind of Walmart, anywhere in the 5 boroughs. You want to go to Walmart, go to Westchester, go to Jersey, go out there to Long Island. We're not going to do it. We're not doing it. Because they knew what was going to bring. It was going to bring a whole bunch of union problems they didn't need. They would happily take a Costco and BJ's, happily. They'll do that, but they weren't going to take Walmart. They'll take Target all day. That's why Targets thrive in New York City. Even in the low-income neighborhoods, there's a Target. Number two, since you want to talk about Walmart, Walmart has, for the last 10 years, been trying to run the Amazon model. They want to go fully digital. They don't want no more box stores. I know you don't read the economic news websites and newspapers. I know you didn't know that. Yeah, they've been starting on that campaign since 2011. It's no coincidence a few years ago they ran and started using Walmart Plus. That was for them to combat Amazon Prime. And if you go on Walmart Plus, since I know you don't do this type of research, do you know what you're going to find in there? Yeah, you'll get next day shipping for free and all that crap, but you're also going to see small businesses under there. Same thing that Amazon does. And they were hoping that that pandemic would force people to not only shut down their mom and pops, but also fold themselves into Walmart. It didn't work. But since you also wanted to bring up Walgreens, let's talk about Walgreens. You mean the same Walgreens that's being sued by the government along with CVS for screwing with people's Medicaid? Yeah, them fines are crazy. Yeah. Let me help you, sir, because I know, again, what I said before about you saying that they're stealing product. Before this whole C-19 stuff happened, the stuff that we did need, yeah, it was still locked up. And this was 2012. I worked at CVS in college. I was a photo lab tech. They were locking up deodorant then, and I was living in a mixed neighborhood out on Long Island where you don't think crime is going to happen like that. So tell me again how it's the black community making everybody lock things up. They were locking up the deodorants. They were locking up the razors. They were locking up the shaving cream. You want to know why they were locking up the shaving cream? It was not because people were stealing it. It was because the white boys was taking out all the shaving cream and making whippets out of it. All my older people know what whippets are, especially if you hung around white people. But if you don't know what that is, them whippets are when you take all the contents out of the can and you're just left with that air in there and you get high off of that. They did the same thing with whipped cream. That's why they had to ban kids from buying whipped cream unless you had a parent with you for a while, because that's what they were doing. It's funny though, right? They always want to talk about, oh, Walgreens and CVS and all these pharmacies locking up because black people stealing it. So what's the excuse for them in predominantly white neighborhoods where black people ain't around? What's their excuse? Those are high value items. Maybe you didn't know this. That actually costs them money. See, what y'all failed to realize, especially this idiot right here, C-19 opened up the floodgates, not because people were stealing stuff because they needed it, because everything was shut down. It's because the government went outside and told everybody that if you have a business and you lose, just come to us. We'll take care of it. We'll cover the cost. And every big box store took them up on that. Why do you think Target hasn't complained about losing that store in Minnesota? They got the money back for that. They got the insurance money from all the product that they lost. Funny how that works. But yeah, it's just black people, right? But okay. Okay. By the way, somebody made a good point in there. They'll lock that stuff up, right? But you could go buy cough medicine still. Y'all don't want to talk to me. Oh, y'all got own problems with them teens and lean, but I can walk right in there right now and go buy cough medicine and nobody gonna tell me whip out some ID. Why is the cough medicine not locked up? But y'all got all the answers. Okay, we're gonna play. So I said Walgreens, Walmart. God, you know nothing about economy. Most people, I meant to say buy their stuff online or at the supermarket. You think we give a damn if those stores close? And then I laughed. I can't wait to destroy you later tonight for this idiot tweet. It's gonna get worse. What do you think Walmart and Walgreens are? They sell groceries as well. Again, most people don't go to Walmart for their groceries. The only time you'll see people go to Walmart for their groceries is that's the only grocery store within their radius. And I'm here to tell you, I work in food service. Most people are not getting their stuff from Walmart like that. They're buying their little dry goods. They may buy some sauces there. They ain't buying no fruit. They'll go on freaking Amazon and go buy it from Whole Foods before they do that. And just to show you how gangster they are, you think it's just Walmart? Them same shopping centers, screw around, put a Walmart in there or a Target in there, right down from them, probably like another 200-300 feet, supermarket. Where do you think people are going to go buy their stuff from? Yeah, but you got all the answers. He said then, or she, or it. Plus, I never seen deliveries for pharmacy. Boy, where did this man come from? He said he never seen a delivery for a pharmacy. Whoa, boy. George Bush shall pay for their crime, boy. Get Karl Rove too. He need to pay for his crime. Get off of the goddamn Fox News when they call you, and you need to get arrested too. He say pharmacies don't deliver. Family. I tell you they dumb. CVS delivers. Oh, wait, he's gonna tell me keep it on Walmart. Okay. We'll do that. Let's see if Walmart delivers medicine. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh. What? Oh, wait, Walgreens. He say Walgreens don't do that. Okay. Walgreens don't do that. You right, some bitch. I'm telling you, I think he living over there in China. He just put the VPN on and say United States to be taken seriously. What? Stupid person. M Diesel 8. Stupid person. Do you know how many old geriatric people live in this world? Well, in this country. You do know a lot of them are not mobile. You do know that them 3 places plus Amazon, you do know they do delivery service. You do know this. They've been doing this for over a decade. And consequently, a lot of them big box companies and those little small mom and pop pharmacies actually made a lot of money during C-19 because people couldn't leave their house to go get their stuff. What? It said that they don't deliver pharmacy products. Boy, I tell you, boy, I swear they dumb. I don't think he MAGA, but he dumb. But we can keep going. Derp, okay. Well, we know he white. Destroying me wouldn't fix the food deserts in your community. Try again. Okay, here we go with the food desert argument. Okay. Yes, there's food deserts in the Black communities. There's also food deserts in the Hispanic community. There's also food deserts in poor white communities. Since we have to explain this, there's even food deserts in Asian communities. I know you think because they have their markets around that it's not a food desert. It actually is, because there's a lot of families in them Asian communities that can't afford the food. They have to actually buy their food on credit. And a lot of them are losing those quote unquote shops that have on credit because the Chinatowns and the Koreatowns and the little Tokyos are going away because they still haven't recovered from the pandemic. So if it continues like this, plus with the boycott in a decade, you're going to start hearing about major Asian food deserts in places like San Francisco and New York and Atlanta. I can't wait to get to Atlanta just to further drive home the point. So I said, oh Lord, keep talking. But there was something else he said. Fam, I couldn't believe this sumbit. Fam, this comment right here is the reason why I'm doing this live. This fool had the nerve to sit up here and tell me geopolitics has nothing to do with local economics.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
I tell you they're dumb. Geopolitics has nothing to do with local economics. I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want everybody to screenshot what you have on the screen. If he really do live in the United States, whatever side he votes for, they got a whole asset on why you should vote for the other side or not vote at all. How do you say that? Okay, good, Becky. Since you voted for Trump, I want to hear this. Come here. Let's have the conversation. Tell me why you're a Black Republican, you voted for Trump. I want to know these policies that he worked out real well. I would love it. I would love to. We're just going to get this out the way because you probably saw it when you walked up, but you ignored it. Number one, I'm not a liberal. Number two, I'm not a Democrat. Number three, I voted for Trump in 2020 so he could get out of here so we didn't have to deal with him in 2025 and beyond. But y'all chose not to go outside for your man. So that's why he's back here doing a worse job than he did the first time. But I would love to hear these policies and what he's been doing so great. I would love to hear it. We're going to continue until you click that. And then we're going to have a conversation. I ain't going to yell at you. I'll even get on camera. You don't have to get on camera. And we can have a conversation. We're going to continue. This fool said geopolitics has nothing to do with local economies. Geopolitics are relationships between countries usually vying for influence, i.e. U.S. trying to ban semiconductor tech to China. How the hell does that not affect the local economy? Even Asian Americans are a large minority in Silicon Valley. So how the hell does that not affect them, sir? That would be considered a local economy, correct? So if they can't get the semiconductors, how the hell does Google function? How does Oracle function? How does TikTok, now that's part of the US, how do they function? How do, okay, since you want to play games, since you don't know how geopolitics work, okay, let's play. I'll make it easy. We stay looking at them gas prices, right? Now, for full disclosure, yesterday I went outside. Gas jumped up to $3.89. Now it's back down to $3.69. That's in the span of 2 days. You don't think that's going to affect the local economy? Interesting. Okay, you go to your local supermarket, since Trump and them want to play around, and the Democrats, they want to play around with what's going on in the Middle East. You start seeing low product. You don't think that geopolitics has something to do with that? Your utilities go up and down. Well, most times they're going up. You don't think geopolitics has something to do with that? Oh, this one's really going to piss them off. You don't think your local taxes have something to do with geopolitics? Because remember, y'all saying all these foreign groups coming over here, buying everything up, staying illegally, not paying taxes, so all my stuff goes up. That's geopolitics. Huh. It's amazing what geopolitics can sit there and influence. It's amazing. It's amazing. The stuff that you buy on the daily, like groceries, you can go on your grocers app or website and see low stock. You don't think geopolitics has something to do with that? You just watched a whole bunch of farmers and ranchers complain that they can't sell their product overseas. You don't think that's going to harm the local economy there? When they're giving people jobs that work in that area, you don't think that's going to affect it? When mom and pop shops can't get their supplies, they got to jack up their current inventory. You don't think that's going to affect the local economy? What are you going to do? You're going to either buy that at that price or you're going to go find something else. So you're taking money out of your own local economy. When New York was getting stuff from Baltimore because they shut down New York Harbor and Jersey Harbor, well, I shouldn't say shut down, but it wasn't moving like it was moving. And it was selling watermelons up there for $25 a copy. You don't think geopolitics has something to do with that? I'm just trying to figure this out. The gas prices done sat there and affected everything. The crude oil prices done sat there and affected everything. But that's not geopolitics. That ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't got nothing to do with the local economy, right? Can't buy no commercial real estate because everybody coming over here for and buying up all the property. So even when you finally get into the place, you got to pay more than what the last person paid. Yeah, geopolitics had nothing to do with that. Okay. The Asian boycott has nothing to do with geopolitics. It didn't go nowhere, right? It's a localized problem. That's what they're saying. It's a localized problem. It's just people online talking. So how come it's affecting everybody outside? How come when I drive around Atlanta, I'm gonna give him a perfect example since he don't know how this works. I'm about 10 minutes away from Emory University. They got a big Asian population, right? There's less than 10 Asian-centric stores around where most of them students live. I'm not talking about the ones on campus. I'm talking about this off campus. There's a housing, there's an apartment complex literally across the street from a Walmart and a little shopping area. I know every store in that area. There's only one Asian restaurant in there. They don't even frequent it. They'll go the hell out of some Starbucks, though. They'll go around, they'll leave that apartment complex and walk down the street to Sprouts, the organic supermarket. They'll be in First Watch, the brunch spot. They ain't spending money with their own people. The only place, and I'm going to show y'all something. The only place where they really spend money, them Emory students, is this bubble tea place. Now, this is a little further up, and this is a little like apartment / townhome complex. It's a little further up from there. And even then, I used to see a mixed crowd go up in there. Now it's just them Asians. But I be catching them Asians going into American Deli right down, a couple doors down, going to Willie's Mexican Grill. Across the street from there, there's a Vietnamese restaurant, well, Vietnamese and Thai, and a Korean spot. I've been there in the daytime. That thing don't be full. Are we gonna talk? They just built a Chinese restaurant in the shopping center. Well, it's not really, well, a little strip mall across the street. Now, I be coming home late and I be seeing them. They be in groups. Asians and non-Asians, they be in groups. You would figure if you got that many Asian students there, you figure that it'd be like, okay, Asian restaurant, got my people there, I stay up late. The motherfucker close about 9 o'clock. About 3 doors down is a po' boy shop. That motherfucker stay full. And it'd be a bunch of Asians up in there. Stay full. They don't close till 2 a.m. It stays full. So even your own people ain't even pumping money back in your shops. The Dumpling Master place, it be non-Asians up in there spending the most money. Now look, they ain't been spending money like they used to. They ain't been full. So don't sit up there and tell me you don't see this boycott not working. They running and starting their businesses in food halls because they can't get no brick and mortar because ain't nobody checking for them. So they're hoping they be in 8 to 10 restaurant spots, hoping that somebody stop and look at their food. H-Mart is hurting. It don't be full like it was last year. So please tell us again how geopolitics doesn't affect that. There's a reason why Asian businesses are closing. Yes, the pandemic had a lot to do with it, but this boycott is actually affecting them now. So much so that they're sitting there talking about they want to send their congressman to go to Washington to put an addendum on the C-19 hate crimes that's saying that it's violating civil rights. You gonna tell me I'm violating somebody's civil rights by not paying their money, by not giving up my money? That's what y'all want to. That's the hill you want to die on. Say less. Y'all gotta watch people like this. They know nothing, but they want to sound smart. Cool. Cool. Allow me to continue digging that knife, since y'all want to play all day. Okay. Okay. So tell me this, Asian community, since you, and then we're gonna go to TikTok and have some fun. Since y'all, well, you know what? Let's go to TikTok first. I'm gonna save the AA for last. Here's Brother Torian Rain. Now we remember this story, right? This lady who sat up there telling us defending Cyrus was wrong, and we just defending criminals. Yeah. You a whole criminal yourself. Cool. Then there was this video where, oh God, I lost it. Damn it. Where is it? Shit. Damn it, I lost it. Okay, there it goes. Hold on. I just saw it. Okay, let's play this. All right, where's this? All right, let's see what this young man talking about.
And we're gonna hop right to it and figure things out, because there's a lot of screaming, yelling, fighting, and scratching. Nobody knows what the heck is going on, so we're gonna get right to it. I'm gonna do
This nigga acting like a battle rapper. I like it though. Keep going.
a 4 to 5 part series. This is part 1. Let's get right to it. So let's get right to it, right? This diaspora initiative looks to tap into 1.7. See, they don't even got the numbers right, because we're way past 1.7, but they pocket watching from 10,000 miles away. But
Okay, so this is, wait, this is about them them Africans. That's not what we want.
Guys, we should all stop supporting Asian-owned businesses, is what I would say if I was fucking stupid.
Okay, ma'am, see?
Guys, we should all stop supporting Asian-owned businesses, is what I would say if I was fucking stupid.
Okay, so why are your Asian students coming over here in the first place? They go is go get lemon pepper wings. They're not seeking out their own culture's food. They're going to go get some lemon pepper wings, especially if it's wet. This is what we're not going to do. You see how they already start already? Okay, ma'am. If they're supporting your businesses so much, how come Chambly over here in Atlanta is suffering right now? And for those who don't know what Chambly is, that's where the Chinatown is. Why are they suffering? I drive through there. Beaufort Highway, all around there. Ashford, Dunwoody, all that area. Why are they suffering? They parking lots be bare. Answer me that question.
we ever seen an Asian in a soul food spot in mass? Have we ever?
No, we haven't
seen the Asians supporting Black American businesses in mass?
No, we haven't. But remember what that story I told y'all when them fools was over there at that one Chinese restaurant, they were sitting there serving seafood boils. Why you a Chinese restaurant serving seafood boils? And think Black people were gonna go there and frequent it. Because I'm gonna go to a Chinese restaurant and look at the menu and say, okay, I'm in a Chinese restaurant, I want a seafood boil. First of all, why do you have blackening seasoning in a Chinese restaurant? It's just questions we gotta ask.
Let me know. Maybe I'm going crazy.
As much as my heart goes out to the Rick Chow case, you can't blame a whole community for one isolated incident.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. You know why we can, madam? Since you don't, you look like you in your 20s, you know nothing. We can do that when we watch y'all in New York, East New York to be exact. Y'all know where I'm going with this. When we watch the entire Chinese city council members go to that community to go support Peter Liang, show up at his trials, give him money because he decided to not adhere to what his partner said and wait for backup. He decided to go chase a Kai Gurley and claim he had a gun and shot that man in the head. Yes, we can blame your whole community when y'all sat out there and in unison, knowing how bad it was going to look, you didn't go out there and say, you know what, that ain't him. He on his own. We don't support that. We can blame y'all when y'all sat up there and let China Mac sit there and disparage black people all day and didn't check them one time. We can do that when you had that Asian chick who tries to run around with a New York black scent, do what she do to raise up on herself, and y'all didn't say nothing about it. Because then when she go on video around her people, she don't talk like that. When y'all was sitting up there kissing Aquafina's ass, and then all of a sudden she gets that Marvel money and forgets all y'all exist. Yeah, we can do that. When you don't pay homage, that's what happens.
Your heart doesn't really go out to what happened because you didn't make a video about what happened. You're making a video about the response to what happened, right? So which means you don't really care about what happened.
They said they changed her username. Oh, she was getting cooked
instead of the action.
And for all those that say that they're going to stop supporting Asian businesses, the clothes on your back probably came from China.
Oh, good.
Seeing the clothes on our back come from China actually proves our point to let you know.
Man, that would have worked in the 90s. That ain't going to work now. Okay, so it came from China. So why was China sitting up there putting out videos on TikTok and Red Note saying, hey, Black Americans or everybody else, hey, instead of going through Burberry and all of them, why don't y'all just buy us from us directly? Because we kept our money in our pocket. Did you forget about that? Nah, she forgot about that. Yes, she did.
That we're not a hateful people. We always supported the Asian community. And if we stop doing it, that's going to be economic destruction for you. So I don't know if that was supposed to be aha, got you moment, because that's not the flex you thought it was.
And I do admit a lot of Asian people are racist. However, not everyone that's Asian is racist.
So you're admitting that a lot of Asian.
So why would we do business? You know, for a model minority, they're not that bright.
That was supposed to be aha, got you moment, because that's not the flex you thought it was.
And I do admit a lot of Asian people are racist. However, not everyone that's Asian is racist.
So you're admitting that a lot of Asian people are racist.
Y'all are racist against each sector of the Asian community. What do you mean? Japanese people be hating on Filipinos. Chinese and Japanese stay lobbing bombs at each other. You got Japanese now lobbing bombs at Korea. The Indonesians and the Philippines don't get along. What do you mean? Y'all had the Asian communities sit there literally dunk on Stanley Zhang and David Zhejiang for going on TV, embarrassing the entire plethora of AAPI. Sitting there whining that they couldn't get into Harvard. What do you mean? When AA dropped, y'all was sitting up there blaming Charlie Cheong, Kenny Zhu, that other Asian kid. Y'all was trying. Y'all, I saw them comments, blood, and some of them I can't even repeat here the way they were going in on them with the stereotypes. So please.
So what are we talking about? Now, I'm not saying all, because I have a few that I'm cool with, but what are we talking about?
I think we should be sabotaging Asian-owned businesses, especially since Asian Heritage Month just passed.
We don't care, ma'am. We don't. Y'all had Asian Heritage Month, and guess what? Your government that y'all love so much because it's fully white almost. Y'all, they didn't come outside for y'all and say something, did they? Did they plaster up every day a Asian person, Asian American that was instrumental in America? No. They did that to get money off of you. Just like they want to hype a Lunar New Year every year because they know they're going to get money off of y'all. They don't care about you. And the one community that actually gave a damn, y'all went and alienated because you didn't want to stand up and say, oh, Rick Chow was wrong. Oh, that's right, because he was in South Carolina. Y'all not that big down there. That's right. We saw how much y'all cared in New York. You're right. Y'all had a whole sector of the city council come outside to say, hey, let's ease the tensions. Oh, okay. All right.
How us doing our own group economic is sabotaging Asian businesses? That's what you guys are doing. You guys are doing
because, brother, we send many of their kids to college. That's why they're upset. Since I was waiting to say that after AA, but we might as well just say it right there. They're pissed off because there ain't gonna be no more black people sending their kids to college. Yeah! Are you gonna get it real on here? All that free money from them chicken wings with the French fries, extra ketchup and hot sauce in New York, all the way over to buying the mangas for cheap instead of going to Barnes and Noble down there in LA. We were sending many of their descendants to college. Now they're not seeing it no more. And the weight of that AA, and them pulling back scholarships, now it got tougher for them. And they don't like that. I'm not being racist. I'm trying to tell y'all what the game is. Since they don't want to say it because they want to keep everything close to the vest, I'll say it. And I dare one of them to come in here and tell me that I'm wrong.
Your own group economics. You have this Chinatown when you came into our communities, separated and made your own enclave and communities. Is that sabotaging the Black American community? No, it's not. So we're not sabotaging. We're doing our own group economics. What's the issue?
Also, specifically, not supporting Asian businesses is also considered racist.
See? Wrong. It's not racist. It's called... What should we call it, fam? Exercising our right to keep our money in our wallet.
So if not supporting Asian business considered racist, I haven't seen Asians in mass support Black American business. So what that means? So tell me, what does that mean? In the last 65 years, I haven't seen Black Americans working in Asian businesses. I haven't seen Black Asians massive support in Black American business. And I definitely didn't see them in no damn soul food spots. So are you saying that they're racist? It sounds like you're telling them yourself. See, the problem is, again, I call it social unity, economic warfare. Socially, it's all love. You might be able to hang out, have fun, go to the bar, whatever. But economically and politically, it's been warfare for the last 65 years. And
we all remember what happened in New York with that STEM program. Just because they had to be lumped with their favorite people, them white folk, and they had to show proof of their income, they ran and complained to the city council. City council shut down the STEM program for them summer school kids. when they could clearly go and in their own communities and learn the same damn thing. They didn't want to go do that because they didn't want to go compete against themselves. Nasty work.
Last to catch up. See, the problem is a lot of y'all are in our communities, right? Extracting out $1.9 to $2.6 trillion. So the moment we say, hold on, we're going to start doing our own group economics, that's economic devastation and destruction for you. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. This is why.
And he has a very good point. You see what happened during C19 when we took our money and we kept it in house and we were shopping with each other. You saw how everybody got pissed off at that. Everybody got mad. Remember, they got mad when Uber Eats, who didn't consult us, put a whole section called Black-owned restaurants. We didn't ask for that. They did it. And then they yelled at us, making it seem like we were the ones that asked for that. And guess what? It went away. Did it hurt us or harm us? Oops.
Such a frantic. This is why such a panic. This is what's being called racism, because all we're saying is that fine, we're gonna do what y'all been doing for the last 55 years and doing group economics and keeping the same energy y'all been keeping, right? So the moment we keep the same energy, oh God, you guys are racist. Hold on. Why can't we have self-love? Why can't we do group economics? Why can't we do? Y'all been boycotted us for the last 65 years. Y'all boycotted us for the last 65 years. So the moment we boycott back is a problem. That's interesting. Y'all tell me.
They know what they doing, and we ain't gonna fall for it no more. Who is you? It's funny, y'all put out your products and nobody want to buy it no more, so you buying up black products now to try to sell it. Like, how does that work? Like, where we do that at? And then we got this jack off.
Stop supporting Asian-owned businesses is what I would say if I was fucking stupid.
EBT people are boycotting Chinese business, apparently. Let's see how long that's going to last this time without Chinese women's wigs. I don't know what that says. Temu, no relying on their wide productivity. Sir, who is shopping on Temu? I'm sorry, fam. Are y'all shopping on Temu? Chinese women wigs? Ain't nobody buying no Chinese hair, sir. Most of the hair they sell anyways from India. I don't even know. See? You see, y'all see, right? The true jab. Boy, you better go sit down somewhere. We're going to boycott Asian businesses, but there are no other grocery stores in the hood. There's no other grocery stores in the hood. I love how they always want to talk about the hood, but the first time they hear backfiring on a car, they running. Since y'all are boycotting Asian goods, why don't you start with the phone in your hand? Oh, Lord, here we go. The phone in your hand. Okay, madam, let's help you with this. If we all gave up our Chinese-made phones, since you want to go there, you do realize that all them companies would fold at 11:59 p.m. the next day. You do know that, right? Maybe they don't know this, fam. We give up the Apple phones, we give up the Androids, we give up the Samsungs, we give up the Huawei's, we give them all up, right? Black people say we're not going to use cell phones no more. Let's just conservatively say 30 million people have a cell phone. Let's say average bill is $100. You think they're gonna give up $3 trillion? I'm sorry. I did the wrong math. Hold on. So we talking about in 1 month, right? $30 million people at $100. That's $3 billion. Times that by 12. You think they're gonna give up $36 billion? $36 billion. You think the cable company fixing to get that up? The people making payments on their phones, you think they're going to give that up? Like, come on. Let's think about this. Number 2, the clothes on your back, ma'am. Then everybody be naked. That's number 1. Number 2, that's not the Asians here. That's them overseas. They ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about here. This fool said the shoes on your feet. Again, that's over there. Maybe you don't know this. Most of your sneakers are imported. Maybe you didn't know that. I know y'all heard about sweatshops and you think that it's just that. Yeah. Guess what? They shut down a lot of them. The weave on your head. Again, that's Indians. And since we're going to go here with the weaves, a lot of black women have been going and cutting out the middleman, just going getting themselves and selling it. So now what? They already did it. Shout out to them for doing the first boycotts. Oh, wow. She put up her finger. I bet you them nails you did, you went to them Asians, then she probably almost hit you with a broom because you was talking too much. Or your feet stink. You got it, though.
Cut Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get a bit of...
And then you got this idiot here.
The Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners.
Okay, sir, the Chinese takeout's been suffering. The dry cleaners, ain't nobody in there. Matter of fact, fam, let's just take a quick poll. How many of y'all, when's the last time y'all been in a dry cleaner? I'm curious because for me, it's been years.
Laundromats. Let's give it a
laundromats because only Asians. Now he's stereotyping his cousins. You think Asians only own laundromats? So the Hispanics don't own it. Black people don't own it. White people don't own it. Okay. Okay.
Stop supporting Asian-owned businesses is what I would say if I was fucking.
Please do. We'll get a bit of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners,
Bye.
the laundromats.
Bye. Because guess what, sir? Since you want to bring up Chinese takeout, there's that Houston, that black-owned hibachi place. Yeah, they doing brisk business. Yeah, I think it's working.
You know, I'm really grateful for the people who have definitely jumped on supporting small brands.
Okay, I don't care.
If you're not black, just...
You
Okay.
Yes, I'm so.
As a black...
What else? Let's see.
Guys, we should all stop.
To the Asian man who challenged all black people to boycott all Asian businesses, I'd like to say thank you. We haven't seen a level of unity and camaraderie this large since probably George Floyd. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if black people would have ever gotten to this point where we all unified under one singular movement this way. Like, this powerful. The Asian people are starting to feel the effects of what you have done. This is impacting your people more than it's impacting my people. We are uniting against this. You have destroyed Asian businesses. That's you. You did that. And I'd like to thank you for getting my people to work together on something like this. This means the world to me. And to the Asian people who are hurting because of the decisions and the words that this person has said, you know who to come for. He did this to you, not us. He said we don't want you guys, so we said okay.
Oh, by the way, since old boy wanted to say boycott all them businesses, how come y'all haven't gone after them big old restaurants, like them quick service joints, huh? Since you say that you got your businesses all in our community, how come you ain't go for them? Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. I didn't hear y'all complaining when y'all had y'all nice little fruit stands in the black neighborhoods, and all of a sudden you started seeing the Hispanics and black people start bringing up those mid-level supermarkets across the street. I didn't hear y'all complaining then. Oh, I know why. Because you were relying on them old folks that you've been knowing for about 20 years to keep frequenting it. Oh, that's right. But they're starting to leave and retire and move back to their own countries or go down south, where they're going to be surrounded by more black people. So their black dollars will start to circulate around black people. So you don't like that too tough. And them young people, you know, they stay on social media all day, so they see that. They not going there. They'll be quick to go to the supermarket first. Oh, you want me to keep it going? I'll keep it going. Y'all want to talk about your Chinese food restaurants? Cool. Yeah, they've been around since we've been little. Yeah, we know. How come then y'all knew this was happening? You didn't want to break no bread, but now you got the big quick casual and fast food spots coming into them same black neighborhoods and taking away your profit share. Oh, you don't want to talk to me, huh? Okay, East Flatbush, Brooklyn, where my people stay. Yeah, you got your Popeyes, you got your Jamaican restaurants, you got your Caribbean restaurants. Yeah, you got the Asian restaurants there too. Asian restaurants stay empty. Did you know that they built the Bojangles over there? Oh, that's right, fam. Bojangles went north. They have one in Brooklyn. Now, when I went, it was empty. It was empty. There's a Raising Cane's on Utica Avenue now. Now, I did see a couple people in the drive-thru. You know, they chicken fingers dry as hell, but I'm just saying. Them folk who ask you love to kiss, they love you so much they put their corporations in your neighborhood where you have your business and taking away your profit share. That's how much they love you. They quick to push y'all out, take that business, knock it down, and put an apartment building there. That's how much they love you. Where back in the day, if this would have happened, they'd have been the quickest ones to tell you, okay, we're going to do something for you. Give us about 30 days. We'll get something together. They not even picking up the phone for y'all. The all-you-can-eat buffets, ain't nobody in there. They be lucky to get a lunchtime tray where people are doing takeout. Can y'all find buffets anymore? He said it. Who going to eat sweet spaghetti and mid-fried chicken? Y'all not slick. Y'all trying to bring your Asian corporations into the hoods now. And people ain't receptive to it. And you know you can't go to Manhattan because they raising the rent up there, so you can't go there. Brooklyn is saturated. Queens is on that point, is being saturated. Y'all want to talk to me? All right. Now, before we go, affirmative action. Hot button topic. They don't listen. Fam, it's so bad. I found an article the other day, and when I looked at it, I had to snicker. You won't believe this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Y'all see how they titled this? Fam. This is the part I want y'all to see. These two paragraphs right here. For Asian Americans who care mostly about their self-interest, the end of affirmative action may provide some benefit and marginally increased chances of admission. But that benefit is slight. Remember that the most significant factors decreasing Asian American admissions have nothing to do with affirmative action granted to others. Instead, it is caused by a form of negative action created by preferences for legacies, athletes, geographies, and subjective personal ratings. And ending affirmative action does nothing to mitigate these factors. They're telling them who they want. Remember when that Indian girl did that essay about how these kids who are student athletes, and they, especially the basketball players, how they should eliminate them from contention and get an admission so they can have more Asians in there. And people looked at her crazy. You think they're going to give up billions of dollars a year to put y'all in there? Yeah, okay. In my view, this small increase in admissions probability is not worth the much larger social cost of ending affirmative action in higher education. But justifying this claim systematically is beyond the scope of this essay. My only ask is that when we have that conversation, we do so without confusion or disinformation about what was promised by Blunt and Students for Fair Admissions when the lawsuit started. Asian Americans should understand what was actually delivered. They got a swift kick in their ass, and they have to sit up there now and compete with everybody when they had a mechanism in place that they didn't have to. This was 2 years ago. You remember this? Asian Americans see mixed results in enrollment. They did all that for nothing. Remember, they said, we got to get into them tops Ivy Leagues. Okay. And then we looked at the numbers. You still weren't getting in. So what was the point? Oh, God. They sitting there saying, Harvard, we're at 41%. Okay. Let's have the conversation. Why y'all not completing it? Oh, no.
Yo, fuck nuts.
Why y'all going there wasting your parents' money and y'all not finishing your degrees? Should we have that conversation, or we're not allowed to have that conversation? I want to know. Fam, oh boy. This, let me show you something. This is what they think is a win. They think this is a win. Oh God. Stanford. Stanford. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, listen, it's going to take a generation for them to figure out what they did. I know they got pissed off when it dropped the first time them Asians went outside, did their videos and said, you know what, this might have been a mistake. When their kids really can't get in, their descendants can't get in, that's when they're going to be like, damn, we got to go to Congress and have them put it back in. And by that point, they're going to be like, no, we good. Explain to me how you boycotted yourself. Because that's what y'all did following Ed Blum. You boycotted yourself. Again, I'm going to say it. You did all this, right, to knock it down at a point in history where they don't even care about your degrees anymore. Y'all waste your time and your parents' money, all them loans you stacking up to try to go into an industry with your degree, and they don't even want you because you don't have, and listen to me, you don't have the prerequisites to even go there because they changed the rules. So then you think you're slick by saying, okay, I got to go get my master's. So now you're already of working age, but you're wasting time. Because even with the master's, you can't find a job in your field to help pay for the master's. You have to go outside your field. And then when that goes, you got to go sit there and defer. But you think because you're Asian, you're going to luck into a position. No, you just made it harder. Because remember now, there's no more, there's blind admissions now. Everybody gets a shot. I'm going to sit up when I say this next part. That was the chair setting up. By you knocking this down, I told y'all it was going to bleed over into the workforce. What are you seeing now? They're looking at everybody the same way they're looking at that a college admission is looking at it now. They don't care your name. Everybody gets their resumes put on a plate. Whereas back in the day, you would have been looked at a lot heavier than everybody else. Everybody now looking at you, but like, oh, you're just a regular person. How you go up there following Ed Blum and lose your superpower? How you do that?
Sharp like a razor to blood clot.
Explain to me how you decide to follow behind a racist white man to knock down something that kept you we're just gonna use it, is kept you like Batman. You could just show up out of nowhere and clear the place out. You could have been the only detective in the room selling yourself. Now you in there with Renee Montoya before she became a question, Harvey Bullock, Jim Gordon, and Commissioner Loeb. How? And y'all all trying to talk to Joker to find out where the kidnapped people are. How? But y'all are supposed to be the model minority. How did you mess that up? All you had to do was do what you were doing. And when you saw stuff like Rick Chow happen, denounce it the day that it came to light. Because I know y'all gonna look at us and say we don't do that. We do that every day. We don't play. You make us look bad, we're fixing to call you out. We're not gonna hype you up. None of that. You're getting called out. And y'all can't stand that. Let's talk real. Y'all let everybody walk all over y'all. You think somebody spending money in your store means they like you? No, you're a convenience. You're not an asset. My God, I'm getting in trouble. All that white ass y'all kiss. Y'all want to hook up with their descendants. You want to have the mixed babies. I get it. I get it. It's a boon to have something Caucasian on your arm. What does it cost you? And that's what I be telling them Black conservatives all the time. What does that cost you? Y'all remember when I was here and I told them Black conservatives, if you got a Black wife, you only gonna go at a certain level. Y'all want all them white folk to be your meal ticket because you somehow, and I know some of y'all figured this out, they love to co-opt that poor Black story. Oh my God, I'm getting in trouble. Boy, they're not gonna give me full monetization on this today, boy.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I don't care at this point. I don't. Y'all think you know everything. You do not know how America works. And y'all spend time, money, and effort to try to minimize the voices that are telling you how America works because you think that your voice is going to be the loudest and it's going to spark change. How did that work in 2020? How'd that work? The person that some of y'all voted for went on TV multiple times and said, Wuhan virus, Kung flu, it came from China. And you know how ignorant most Americans are. When they hear China, do you think they just worry about the country with 1 billion plus people? No, they don't. They talk about everybody. You could be Japanese, they'll call you Chinese to your face. And we told you, you better stand against that. Because if you don't say something, it's going to be pervasive, and they're going to use it on you anytime because they're going to expect you to allow it. You didn't want to hear that because you wanted to go kiss white ass. We told y'all when you first heard that lawsuit come out, we told y'all don't do that. Do not do that because you're going to screw around And when if they do fall, y'all are gonna be the face of it. It ain't gonna be Ed Blum. He gets to slinker out. Yes, that's a word, or it might not be slinker, but you know, we black, we make words up here. We told y'all, you didn't want to listen. You said screw that. Y'all is taking, we're taking it. We're taking y'all taking seats away from us. We taking them back. Okay, cool. Shut up and we let them have it. It fell. Within a week, they realized what they did. Ed Blum slinkered out. Now y'all were left holding the bag. Everybody looking at you crazy now. You had somebody employed by one of the biggest universities on the goddamn planet tell you, we don't like y'all because y'all are test-taking robots. And y'all sat up there and you smiled because 400 of y'all got into school. So you would rather take disrespect and stand up and say, listen, if you're going to treat us like that, we're not going to your school. No, you want to do it because you want to impress your parents. Then you started not getting in. Then all of a sudden you go on TV, embarrass your parents' name even more by complaining how you didn't get in. So now that's forever. Oh, you don't believe me. So how come when I did the David Zhang's story with a year later, they brought it back up? Stanley Zhang's story, I did that when it came out, they brought it back up. And it's going to continue being this. But you know what? I want to look something up before I go. I want to see if they're putting out them TikTok videos of them getting in them schools, if they still doing it. Let's see. Look, she happy. Look.
Incoming class at Harvard will be 41% Asian as compared to 29.9% just 2 years ago. Stanford has similar numbers. The amount of white students has gone up by about 2% at both these schools. The affirmative action decision. The amount of black students has gone down from around 15% to 11.5%.
And guess where they went? Diane Yap's little niece. Guess where they went? That's right. They went to HBCUs. Isn't that wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? I know it's a lot of Africans, but I know. But I mean, goddamn. And you know what this means? That means now they can go and say, you know what? We got higher enrollment. We could go ask for more state money. We got to ask for more federal money now. Huh? But y'all want to tout again, fam. They're sitting here touting that they got into these Ivy League schools. Again, you're watching these companies devalue in real time these degrees because they know they can go get the labor that they so desire cheaper from overseas for a few $1,000s and a government H-1B. So then what was the point? You idiots knocked down AA and ironically strengthened the H-1B program. So you basically, okay, so since Indians are the biggest demographic, I'm not going to disparage them today. Since they're the biggest demographic that take the H-1Bs, what incentive are now you're going to go tell your Indian son or daughter that they need to work and bust their ass over here? You might as well send them back to the homeland and just let them come back on an H-1B. They'll get the job easier. What was the point? If Trump is saying, I want 600,000 Chinese students here, you might as well, Chinese community, you might as well send your kids back over there. Let them graduate from high school over there and bring them back over here. They'll probably get set aside. You're really touting that your numbers went up at Harvard. when your president is sitting there saying Harvard is bullshit. They really lack awareness. See, and this is, I'm sorry, Asian community, but I gotta say, y'all have been the only demographic that has lacked street smarts. Like real talk. Again, no self-respecting Black, white, or Hispanic parent would have themselves and their kids on TV complain how they couldn't get into a college. Please show me the abundance of these videos where any one of them 3 communities have done that. Cool, you don't want me, I'll move on. You literally went there, took your family's name, let them put it on the title track, and told everybody in the world, hey, I'm complaining I didn't get into a school. You look like victims.
Hispanic and Latino students have dropped from 16% to around 11% in this incoming class at Harvard. And this is, of course, tied to the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action a couple years ago. And as an Asian American, I am not seeing this as a victory. Sure, it's good for individual Asians. And as someone who went to Columbia for undergrad, it was easy to feel during the college application process that being Asian was working against me. However,
how the fuck was it working against you, ma'am? You had affirmative action. How the fuck was it working against you? If it worked against you, that means you wouldn't have gotten to Columbia. You see, boy. Oh, boy. Ma'am, you got into Columbia when it was still on the books. How was that working against you?
The incoming class at Harvard will be 41, probably mostly Asian, as opposed to was working against me. However, once I actually got to college, the diversity made it fun. If I had gone to a college that looked just like my upper middle class suburban high school, what would be the point of paying?
See what I mean? Ma'am, you went to New York City. Of course it was going to be fun. Is she serious right now? She got to go to school in New York City. It says here that you live in San Francisco, so you're probably from the Bay Area. You got to travel 3,000 miles away to go to school. Of course it's going to be fun. You're in a whole new city without your parents around. You could do whatever the hell you want.
All that tuition money. Asian Americans are 7%.
She's so gangster, she changed her shirt. And now she tried to show off the tattoo. Oh, she's such a gangster. I'm sure your parents love the fact that you came over to eat dinner one night and you had that. I'm sure they didn't say a word. Especially on your arm. That's going to look real good when you get married. Them pictures.
Of the US population, as opposed to 40% at these elite colleges. It was around 25% when I was there, and that was plenty of Asians. I found a lot of community with Asian.
Is she this cold? She keeps changing and putting down the shirt. Put on the heat.
Peers during.
What is up with her eyebrows? Ladies, I live with 2 women. I'm allowed to say this. What is up with her eyebrows? Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't think I can. Damn, I can't. Wait, maybe we can't. No, I can't. It's too much. What is up with her eyebrows? One look like a tree branch, and the other one look like Cuba. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to her though.
That time, no shortage of Asians, and I think a lot of these 40% are high income, probably mostly East Asians and like the privileged.
Remember what Black dude said? Converted for us. You see how racist they are, right? Not in East Asians. Oh, East. Okay. Privileged South Asians. Oh. All right. We're supposed to frequent this. If they're saying this about people on their own continent, what do you think they're saying about us? Yeah, we good.
South Asians And so much of Asian American culture has just been get your kid into the best college possible, pay as much money as you need to make that happen. It's basically pay to play in our community now. At Harvard, half of white student admits were non-meritus, which means they got in through legacy. Sometimes
I doubt that. Don't do that. Half of them? Half? Let's not do that, man. You telling us 20% of them students are legacy? Don't do that. Let's not do that one. I would say at least 10% at most.
sports, but mostly legacy. They've had like 500 years to build up family connections to these universities. And meanwhile, Black Americans had 400 years of slavery and segregation, a little bit of an even playing field with the advent of affirmative action. And then
and still went there to take a shot. Why did you have to bring up slavery, madam? And then she said that with a big old smile on her face afterward. Why would you bring up slavery? I'm sorry. Maybe the Asian community never heard this before. We're not clamoring to go to Harvard. I know. I think y'all see that's insignia and you think that it means something to us. It really doesn't. Yeah, Harvard's a great school, sure. Okay. We can go to University of Alabama and get the same education, better prospects. We go University of Florida, we go University of Georgia, we can go to University of Texas. We can go to Texas Tech, we can go to University of Chicago, we go to Illinois, we go to Ohio State. We can go anywhere in this country and get a quality education and make something of ourselves. We go to HBCUs, which we're doing now. See, she's telling y'all again that it's all about Harvard for them. She's just confirming it. She's just reconfirming it. It's all about Harvard for them. It ain't for them. It's for the parents. Who cares? Again, you have a Trump administration that is devaluing Ivy League colleges in real time because he thinks they're woke. Your school 3 years ago, the Palestine protests. Yeah. Yes, Harvard's made billions. Yes. Harvard, remember, Harvard is a corporation. They have endowments that would rival small countries' whole GDP. I think right now they have about 50 billion in endowments. They have campuses all over the world. Columbia's made billions. And they've had protests. And your president sat there and threatened to pull their funding.
They lost it. And then they did. I also noticed while I was at Columbia that most of the Black students that I met were actually not Black American. Most were African immigrants. Had similar upbringings to me as a Chinese American immigrant. If we actually look at the African American student population, it's probably gone down even more.
Because we don't sit there and try to go say, okay, I got these great grades. Let me go apply to fucking Columbia. We don't care. That's not our goal in life. We just want to go to a school, get an education, and provide. That's it. Maybe for the melanated immigrants, sure. But most, if you put all the Black community together, we don't care about them Ivy Leagues like that. We don't care.
Remember what I said about pay to play? It's not really fair to tell the most historically disadvantaged group that they suddenly got to have the money to play like everybody else if they want to get into these colleges.
Man, they've been telling us that for years. Thank you for coming to the party late and you brought nothing except your 2 hands. You didn't even bring a pack of napkins. Thank you. We already knew that. That's why we don't go. I just explained this. We don't go there. We don't need the Ivy Leagues. We could go to a state school and be fine. Y'all want to go there. You and them white folk want to go there to impress your families. You have a big contingent of Hispanic people that want to go to them colleges to impress their families. We don't care. Great, you got into an Ivy League, that's a boon. Cool, that's great. Hell, you got into SUNY, great. You got into Bowling Green, wonderful.
My parents have PhDs. They came from China and were like specifically selected because they went to the best college in China. They studied chemistry.
Same thing with like Stanley Zhang's father. Same story. So again, here's another confirmation when they want to sit up there and act like their parents came from communist China with nothing in their pocket and they had to work 3 jobs each to make sure that they had everything they needed. There you go. Another one confirmed it.
They got PhDs and become high income earners in the US workforce. That's what happened. My ancestors were not dragged here to create wealth for someone else and suffer
What the hell? So you can't make your point without bringing up slavery. I don't understand that. You can easily make your point without talking about people being dragged here. She's low-key dissing Black Americans, saying that they folks had a choice to get here. Damn. Do you want to have that struggle story? Does that make your life story any better? Because it don't. I'm sorry to tell y'all, the struggle life is that story, that storyline don't work no more. Social media killed that for y'all.
Human rights abuses the entire way. It's just really weird to have these institutions that were built off of the back of slave labor and systematically exclude their descendants in this day and age after we've already talked about all of that and had the civil rights movement and had affirmative action for a while. And now we're just like, nope, we're excluding them again. So how are all these privileged white and Asian students supposed to learn the real history of this country? Black Americans who historically make less money and cannot generally afford to pay to play like, you know, recent Asian immigrants can, and their kids don't even get into these colleges at high enough numbers. These white and Asian kids will just go.
Okay, so we can't pay to play, and y'all want to knock down something that we could use to bridge that gap. But now you want to sit up here and try to educate folk on how bad Black Americans have it, as you big up yourself for going to Columbia. Man, this chick, man. Whew. I'm glad I played this. Diane Yap's niece is wild, boy.
It is so over for universities. Even China doesn't believe in it anymore. China's national college entrance exams, or Gaokao, just finished this week. And for the first time in decades, enrollments are down by 500,000. That is 500,000 people that will not go to university at all. To give you an idea.
Why would they go when Trump ran up there and said, you can just come over and we'll educate you here? They want to come to America. They want to go to Australia. They want to go to Europe. Why stay in China? Hell, they can go to Japan. Why stay?
The percentage of freshmen at Johns Hopkins University who are Asian American has almost doubled in the 2 years since the Supreme Court outlawed race-based affirmative action in college admissions. According to new data from the university, 45% of freshmen in 2025 were Asian American, compared with 26% in just 2023. Over that same period of time, the percentage of Black students on campus actually fell from 10% to 4%, and Hispanic students from 21% to 10%. White students held relatively steady in their proportion, going from 19% to 21%. Notably, these percentages do not include international students, who are grouped separately and represented 14% of freshmen in 2025. This just goes to show that the dust is still settling post-SCOTUS ruling, but these numbers are fairly consistent with what we are seeing across elite academia. Harvard reported similar increases in Asian American students from 30% in the class of 2027 to 41% in the class of 2029. Meanwhile, their Hispanic and Black student populations did not see as large of a drop. Some Asian American families and anti-affirmative action activists are touting this as a victory, but it's still unclear just how much these numbers will ultimately shift as admissions processes stay up to date with these new rulings and laws.
All right. Now, before I go, last thing, let me see how if they put out them college enrollment numbers for the upcoming semester. So they said spring post-secondary enrollment total 18.6 million students, which is a 1% increase from the previous year. Okay. Let's do this. Don't think they came out with them numbers yet. All right, so I guess I gotta wait 2 more months and then we'll get those. But y'all get the point. These Asian boycott is not working out well for them, and affirmative action, you know, they're saying their numbers are up. We'll find out in a few years when their degrees are devalued how much of a mistake that it made for them to knock it down. And yeah, so we're going to group you as a community because most of y'all didn't say y'all better not do this. Y'all sat back and let it happen. But that's cool. That's cool. All right, I'm getting up out of here. I know I forgot about the Candace Owens thing. I know. I might put that on the back burner because at this point, I really don't care. Because that's that whole Tyler Robinson thing. I really don't care. I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to say not guilty on that man. I don't know why, but I'm just waiting for that Austin Julio versus Jake Lang thing. I need that whole I need that debate to drop with the quickness. We need to react to that. Like real talk. They're saying, from what I'm hearing, they're saying Jake Lang got destroyed. They were saying, somebody said that it's going to look bad on film. So I just need to know when they're gonna drop that. The day they drop that, boy, I don't care if I gotta get off work and be half tired. We got to play that. So we're gonna wait. What happened to the live? I had stuff to do. I had laundry to do. I had to go run out and run errands. I might do it tonight. I'll see how much energy I got after making these tacos. If I have enough energy, we'll do it. If not, I might just put it on the back burner to next week because I kind of want to see also how this trial turns out because there's a lot of shit coming out of it. But yeah, that's about it. So hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I try to be better next time. Stay productive out there. And if you're still within the heat, Stay cool, please, because we don't need y'all passing out here. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Again, I might see you, I might not. So y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Oh, here it goes!
Time's up.
Get your ass up! We gotta get out of here now!
Did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on!
At the end of the day gotta end.
That's it.